Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I said welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Port Hueneme, California, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Good morning, man.
Morning.
Yeah. Last Friday of the month.
Last Friday of the month.
And next Friday, when you wake up at this time, there have already been an NFL game and then a new, I believe, Chargers and Chiefs is also on Friday next week.
Wow. Friday Night Lights.
From Brazil, which I hate.
Well, since you brought up the NFL, Andy, I guess we have to talk about the biggest NFL story that's happened in a long time. Really? Like, what a massive shakeup in the NFL. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are engaged, dog.
You know, I wasn't going to talk about it.
You weren't going to talk about it?
No.
Okay.
But now that you did it, I'll do a quick little dirtball shout out. Here we go. We got an 8-second call. Here it is.
Taylor Swift got a ring before James Harden. Let's fucking go. Love you guys.
James Harden taking strays.
Wow, it's a wild one.
Yeah, that was a wild one.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Big news.
I mean, there it is. You don't, in terms of the NFL side of it. I mean, it really at this point is NFL news, Andy.
It's not.
The coverage is going to be, you talked about Chargers, Chiefs on Friday. Coverage is now about to triple. What's she wearing? What she do? Where's the ring? The whole thing. And then also, you got to think that this plays into or is part of the thought process here is the end of Travis Kelce's career. He's got to think that this is the next.
That's the first thing I said to Brittany.
Yeah. This is the last year of Travis Kelce, right?
I assume. I mean, there. I don't know if you saw there. He went to Cincinnati. They played last night. They were at the game last night. I don't know if you saw. So that was in Kansas City, opening whatever. They played Nebraska. I guess they were there. So it's like they're already, I saw some funny. I did see some funny memes. You know me. Does anyone love memes more than me? I love me some memes. There were some great ones being like talking about just like how like, yeah, this is what you sign up. Now you're going to his alma mater, Cincinnati, Nebraska on a Thursday night. Like this is what but who knows? Maybe that's like part of her spiel.
What?
As far as like the branding.
Oh, it's for sure part of her spiel.
I view all this as like a branding marketing ploy.
You think, Andy?
Well, but a lot of people don't.
Well, those people are fucking dumb cult members.
No, I know people who aren't Swifties
who think that there was an album announcement, podcast, engagement, American Eagle campaign in the matter of 6 days, and it wasn't coordinated. There are people who are not Swifties who believe that every single day in between an album announcement and an album coming out, we're doing some sort of launch.
No, I meant more, not that. You're talking about the particulars of the last week. I meant more of like the whole situation from the start, from the get-up.
Oh, the fact that they're a couple is a PR stunt?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even necessarily believe that as much as I think, it's, I mean, I think that there's a thought process to it, probably from both sides. He didn't just like randomly shout out on his podcast. Like, he knew exactly what he was doing. At the time, he had one of the biggest podcasts in the world, and he was like basically begging. He did the Hollywood, like, look at me thing. And then she definitely sat there and weighed out with like a pen that had sparkles and like a fucking pink poof ball on it. She was like, pros and cons of dating an NFL guy, and went through it with her team. And yeah, decided, all right, this will be good. We're gonna reach this whole other untapped market.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like parallels for the situation, and I can't really think off the top of my head with NFL guys. I mean, Tom Brady and Giselle is, as far as like, but
Not even close.
No, it's not. But I'm saying parallels. Like, as far as he wasn't, or he was already a thing. Obviously, she was a thing. I don't know. I'm just trying to think out loud right now. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's weird when you see like Adam Schefter and all these guys, and you just like, I don't know. It's like I guess my take is you don't have to comment. Everyone else is.
Right.
Like Schefter.
Well,
I guess he's a brand too. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, have you seen the I might be sending this to you right now because you haven't seen it. Have you ever seen the pictures of Taylor Swift and her prom date?
Yeah.
She basically bookended it. She ended up marrying the same dude that she went to prom with.
Wait. Is this the high school boyfriend?
I have no idea. How the fuck would I know? I'm sending it to you right now. But it's basically, she
Oh no, I have not seen this. I've seen the high school boyfriend who's made he's made a lot of comments.
It's just amazing to be like, when I was 17, I dated this one guy and went to prom with him, and then I dated 400 other dudes, and then I ended up marrying the exact same guy.
Let's pull this bad boy up here. Okay, what do we got here? Let's get a good look at homeboy.
That, I don't know what that kid's name is. Probably Trevor or Charlie or something, but his @ name on Instagram is definitely Killa Trev. Killa Trev. What side?
He's wearing the sideways hat with the suit.
Yeah.
That's a bold move, Cotton. Now, where is this? Do you know?
I'm assuming that picture is taken on the gigantic farm that her parents owned in Pennsylvania before they bought her music career.
You really hate her, don't you?
The worst.
But why care, Joe? It's just a pop star.
Oh, I could not disagree more.
Really? It's just a pop star.
Not a cult, truly a cult leader. Leads a cult.
Well, I mean, you could say that about a lot of pop stars who have massive followings, right?
Yeah. So, like, let's say me, for example. I don't think you two ever had quite the clout in the world that Taylor Swift does now. But let's just pretend I am a crazy U2 fan and I was in the cult of Bono. All of a sudden, I would wake up every day and I'd be like, I've got to do more for Africa. I've got to give blood. I've got to give money. I need to make sure people are aware of AIDS and hunger. I need to whatever. Or you could be in the cult of Taylor Swift and wake up every single day and be like, men are the devil. And they're all out to get you. They're all narcissist dickheads.
Do you think they all really think that?
Yes, I think that I have said it before, and I'll say it again. And I was arguing with our boy Patrick Sullivan about it because wildly, and this should tell you everything you know. He's a Swiftie, right? She is the Andrew. She's just Andrew Tate for women. She's weaponized and monetized hating the other gender. That's what she's done. Andrew Tate.
I mean, that's a bold claim. Weaponized.
Yeah, weaponized and monetized hating men.
But a lot of these women are with men.
That's her shtick.
That are Swifties.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And a lot of them aren't with men. A lot of them are with cats.
I'm like, she's just a pop star, man.
But she's not.
Yeah, but by giving, but right again, it goes back to giving attention.
I'm not giving. I don't fucking. This is I say it all the time, and I made a post the other day calling her out for being it, but like, I don't give a fuck about Donald Trump. I've been ignoring Donald Trump for 40 years. I hate MAGA losers. I don't give a fuck about Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I disagree with everything you're saying.
I hate the cult of Swift.
You care about all of it. That's why if you didn't care, you wouldn't respond.
No, you're missing the point.
No,
I don't give a fuck about the leader. I give a fuck about the cult. The cult is full of gross people that are doing horrible things. The leader is just some Nepo baby whose parents gave them a career, and they use that career to get a bunch of dumb people to follow them.
Well, I don't think it's that simple, personally. I mean, look, take Taylor Swift. I don't really know her music personally. I just don't. I don't follow it closely enough. I don't, like, straight up, and I'm not just saying this, I could name, I don't know what songs I could name.
Yeah. I can't name a fucking song either.
But,
I can name three songs. Shake It Off, I think, is one.
Yeah.
All I know is a lot of, I went to the bar. I was in a getaway car. And Travis left the door ajar. And then he smoked a cigar. But he didn't get very far. Because he got caught in some tar. You're like, you're a genius.
But hold on. My point is this. Like, I don't know her songs. And I'm not just saying that. I just don't care. Like, from what I've heard, it does nothing for me. Like, and I can totally hop into the pop culture, like pop music. I'm a sucker for some.
I don't know. Don't.
Hold on. Let me just say what I'm gonna say. But my point is, like, I just don't care enough. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna really weigh in on any of it. Now, again, do I laugh at some memes? Did I really, the one I've chuckled the hardest at is what's his name? Greg, with all the numbers on Twitter. And he's the first one did, then everybody stole it. It said picture aerial view of the wedding or whatever. And it was a giant plane going down the aisle, mocking her use of, but like I laugh at that stuff. Yeah. I look at stuff and I laugh, but I'm just like, why engage with people who are obsessed with her? Because you're not going to change their opinion.
No, that's okay. I'm not about changing. I'm about shame. You know that about me, Andy. It's not about me changing.
But I don't think but they're not going to feel shame. If they're
they'll feel shame.
They won't. If they're ride or die, it's the same way with sports. I think this is a great segue, actually. Right? Don't you feel it's the same way? Like,
no, Andy, you're on. We share an athletic account. You're on fucking the thing yesterday arguing that the Bengals are cheap. You know that Bengals fans know that the owner's cheap.
For sure.
You know that but they're saying they're not. They're like, the grades, they can't walk across the street to practice, these millionaires. They know Bengals owners are cheap. You're reminding them of that. And they can scream all they want.
But I'm wasting. I will openly say I'm just fucking around having fun for sure. Probably the same way how you feel. But I will acknowledge on my own end, I don't think I'm changing anyone's opinion. I don't think I'm shaming.
I don't think you're changing their opinions either. I think they have the exact opinion that you're saying. They know the Brown family is cheap. They're arguing they're not because they're in the cult of NFL fandom. but they know they are. And you're just there to remind them.
So
and
you're
deep down,
telling
they
me
got to go to sleep. They got to go to sleep knowing they spent their whole day lying for a billionaire, which, by the way, is exactly what Swifties do and exactly what MAGA does. They lie on behalf of a billionaire who doesn't care whether they live or die. The Brown family doesn't care whether or not any single Bengals fan lives or dies. They're about making money, and people who stand for them are fucking losers. You stand for a billionaire owner. You stand for a billionaire pop star. You stand for a billionaire real estate mogul. You're a fucking loser. You're a fucking loser.
I don't disagree standing for the age of celebrity, the age of what I would call like hero worship. We hero worship people that is ridiculous to me. But I really don't think opinions are being changed. I honestly think those people.
I agree with you. I don't think opinions are being changed. I think everybody knows the truth in all of these blatantly obvious situations, and they're lying.
I'm telling you, whether it's a Swiftie or like a Bengals fan or whoever, I think they believe
when a
this shit.
Swiftie when the Swifties say eat the rich except for our billionaire pop star, you think they're being honest? You think they think she's different? Or you think that they're just in such a cult that they're like, this, I have to defend our cult leader?
Well, I'm like, is that a thing with the Swifties that eat the rich?
Oh yeah. The all, you know, like there's a lot of them because she's done performative LGBTQ shit and she's done performative that think like she cares. And then they're like, no, but her money's not in like blah, blah, blah. Her money's in her music. And you're like, her money's in selling $40 water bottles. That's what her money's in. Her money's in, she hawks microplastics. She literally has 27 variants of every album in a different kind of plastic. She's Amazon. She's the same as anything. She's just selling microplastics. She doesn't care about, and she's an environmental terrorist. She's into plastics and private planes.
Well,
I don't know. Again, this is what I go back to. I always say she's the Andrew Tate of women. People go, Andrew Tate was an MMA fighter, or like, I don't know. Was he? All I know is he's gross and he is terrible for society because he makes fucking incel weirdos into fucking women hating school shooters. And she just does the cat lady version of that for women.
Well, I don't know enough about him either. I don't know. I think he was an MMA. Truth is, I don't really follow him as well. You know, I'm busy seeing what's going on with Cracker Barrel logos, and which is funny too. But again, my point on all this stuff is, I think we lose perspective that we have enough time. My argument, or my take, so to speak, is that we have it pretty easy that we can argue over this shit with strangers.
You're talking about like a top 5 most influential person on planet Earth.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Like, she's never going to wield as much influence as the head of the United States, the head of China, the head of Russia, and probably the head of Amazon.
So what's her influence? I guess I'd ask.
She is the literal moral compass of 44% of human beings on Earth.
So do you think Swifties are like void morally if they like her music, or if they're
well, if you like your music, listen, music is taste. I don't give a fuck.
Because I'm saying, that's what I'm saying, because there is difference.
Some people like fucking, you know, DJ Khaled, and some people like fucking what the fuck ever, the Killers. Who cares? Like, music is music. I think it just being like, I like her music, but who cares what she thinks, is a fine opinion. But the ride or die, it's a psychotic world out there, Andy. That's what I'm saying. That's her fan base is full of. She's has a cult. She's the leader of a cult.
Beyonce had that. Remember,
Sure.
Aaliyah had like people. You like, wow, people have had these cults.
Not on this level. It's unlike anything we've ever seen. Truly. Beyonce, do you remember Beyonce just Beyonce sat at Nets games with Jay-Z all the time?
Yeah, I'm trying to think as far as the level of star power. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that. Like the level of star power that she has globally is probably bigger than anybody that I can recall. I mean, Michael Jackson.
But just with the internet, it's not comparable.
Yeah, the internet that definitely makes a difference. Comedian Nate Craig is going to be coming on here shortly, but we talked on the Bengals. Let me just take a dig. We always got to take some. I always got to take some digs. This is Bengals new signed guard who shout out to Justin Wood, who's like, can you give him some credit? And I just said no, sorry, no. I was like, they're taking a guy to the trash heap. Oh, he didn't give up a sack last year. Started 8 games. Only played in 8 games.
Wait, what'd they do? They signed a guy that got cut from another team?
I don't even know. He was not playing. They signed him 3 days ago. Bengals fans are spinning this as, we care. Our owner cares. He's so good. And I'm like, sign a guy 10 days before the season? No, I'm not giving credit. Sorry.
I don't even understand what's the credit. Why didn't you sign him a month ago if you thought he was so good?
I agree. Well, we're upgrading. Well, I guess, sure. But I just want to show this is his welcome to Cincinnati. This is him going to practice his first day through a construction site. This is like South Park level comedy. This is an episode of Always Sunny. Guys, this is the Bengals walking to practice through a construction. Look at him looking around. Hold on, he's 66. Just watch his hand gestures. I think he's literally like, wait, we do this every day? Look at him. He's like, we got to walk through road construction to practice? There's nothing like this.
By the way, the Bengals offensive line in a nutshell is just the cop that they walk by who just goes, nods at them and just lets them go. Go ahead. Joe Burrow's over there. Go. That's every Bengals right tackle in history. That police officer is nodding.
Except for Anthony Munoz.
He's a left tackle, wasn't he?
Yeah, you're right. And then I'm going to play this little quick clip from backup QB AJ McCarron, who played a couple years. Takes a few seconds. Anyway, the conversation, they were talking about going to London, and he was saying how much he hated it. And whatever Southern radio show or podcast this guy basically asked him about the Bengals per diem, which then leads to this quick little tidbit.
Dude, I was pissed.
On a per diem.
On a per diem. Yeah, what was per diem over there?
Hold on a second.
Listen, probably with Cincinnati, there probably wasn't any. Brother,
can you not hear?
Yep, I can hear.
Okay.
In Cincinnati, this is how down bad it was. They saved the gear that you got from the league that they ordered, so they wouldn't pass out a lot of the gear my first 2 years there. And they would have a garage sale at the end of the year so they could make some money back.
Quit.
Yes.
Quit.
They had a sale with all of the leftover gear that the players were supposed to get, and they would sell it out in front of the stadium at the end of the year. It was fucking awesome.
First of all, can we just talk about that? Quit. Quit. AJ McCarron on there in the fucking camo hat, and the guy with the striped. Their wives are hanging out right now, listening to some T Swift. Quit.
100%.
That's insane. They wouldn't. So the league gives them gear. They didn't even probably pay for it. It's probably just league provided. You probably pay for it in some regard, but then I'm sure upcharging just fans to get like official Bengal. That's crazy.
He called it a garage sale. Dude, my buddy who has season tickets and who's diehard sent that. And I literally just wrote back. I actually don't think this is funny. I said, this disgusts me. I said, Joe Burrow needs to throw a ball straight at Mike Brown's head and put him out of his pathetic existence. Like now. Like,
I mean, it's amazing that you argue with me, but basically you spend your whole day doing exactly what I do, which is arguing with people who stand for a billionaire who's brainwashed them into giving them all their money.
no, that was on text. Yeah, I got a little out of control recently on The Athletic. I just couldn't. There's this one guy who I hate.
What I'm saying, this has always broken you about this team, is that they don't give a fuck about their fans. And their fans, stupidly, are in a brainwashed cult and ride or die for a billionaire who wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire, and constantly give them their money. Constantly. No matter how bad the product is, they give them their money. They give them their money. They give them their money. They give them their money.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
But I don't know, to me, the equivalent pop star, and at least if you're a Swiftie, you're like, I like her music.
Well, they like the Bengals.
Oh man, it's just look, I know a lot of these guys don't care. And we'll get to Jerry Jones soon here when we discuss the Micah Parsons thing. But it's just, again, you see this stuff and you're like, that was my favorite line around here. Again, most of my things are on text. My favorite line is, that was the 90s. Things have changed. No, here's AJ McCarron last week.
Yeah.
He played 2015 and 2017. Talking about garage sales. Sorry, Justin. I got to do it. Justin is, dude, I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit because he's drinking the Kool-Aid so hard. This signing, he was just like, he's like, I'm ready. I'm ready for you to lose this. We doubled our bet, by the way.
When?
Recently, at the $200 now. We doubled or nothinged it. It was $100.
This is on the division winner.
Division winner.
It's a reckless bet. It's a reckless bet. Straight up, too.
Straight up, division winner. But you'll agree with this. One Lamar Jackson injury, I think the Bengals won that division.
Listen, a lot of things can happen, but
yeah,
their defense doesn't look like it's going to be that improved. Their offensive line doesn't look like it's going to be that improved. You got a lot of weapons. It's just, listen, the NFL, what's crazy about the NFL is I think that there was a lot of years where if your only bet of the year was betting that teams that made the playoffs the year before wouldn't make it, if you just went across the board,
yeah,
you would have done great. League has changed a little bit. There's been a lot of like consistency in the NFL the last few years, and the Bengals haven't been consistently good.
No.
In fact, the Bengals have been consistently bad to start year in and year out. I'm assuming because their practice facilities are fucking dog shit, and they spend the dog days of August crossing hot streets that are being freshly asphalted. They weren't putting down asphalt. They were putting down tar, which I drove by in my car. And I went to the bar to get my guitar.
I didn't know she was a rhymer.
Just bar and car. There's a long playlist of songs where she rhymes bar and car. At least 12 or 14 songs long.
Well, next week we will do a full detailed preview.
Full NFL preview.
In fact, we'll talk off air, but maybe we even first game's Thursday. Maybe we try to get that out Thursday.
Okay.
Set Friday. Let me pull up my old sketch. We can see if we got anything going on here. You got a update on Nate?
He said, "Give me 5 minutes." 5 minutes ago. So he should be signing on soon. Nate is a big Wisconsin guy, Andy.
That's why I was wondering. Because we'll wait to hop into the
Brewers fan, Packers fan, Bucks fan, possibly University of Wisconsin guy.
Because we'll obviously jump into the Micah Parsons trade, which it was a huge trade.
Yeah. But I bring it up, Andy, because what else is a big Wisconsin thing?
What's that?
Just turned it on over my shoulder.
Miller Lite.
That's right. It's first Saturday, Andy.
Yeah, you gotta crack one open.
I already
here.
had a surf this morning. Oh,
Got recharged with. Oh yeah, there you go. Chill the face
good.
a little.
They say it's so good when it touches your lips. It doesn't even have to touch my lips, and it already feels good.
Now this is a great time of year to drink Miller Lite. We talk about fall football.
Say arguably the best time of year when it's still warm enough to have a barbecue.
Yeah,
a Labor Day barbecue and Miller Lights, pretty unbeatable.
What are you throwing on that grill?
I mean, when you're talking Labor Day and Miller Lights, you got to get some sausage in there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe beer baste them a little bit.
The
Miller Lite sausages. Ugh. And I love it. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm like, the sausage is just where the party starts for me. Appetizer sausages.
Well, now is the time, like Joe's saying. Get your Miller Lights. Football is officially here. It just tastes different. I don't have a science behind it. It just tastes different. That's how it works. Fall, tailgate, football. Guys, Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. We have it on the screen. Go to MillerLite.com/dirty sports to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
I'll tell you what, Andy, I have a feeling there was a lot of Miller Lights sprayed yesterday. I think they were shaken up and sprayed yesterday in celebration. And I think to talk about it, we should get on our Wisconsin boy here.
Let's bring on Nate Craig here.
Boys.
What's going on?
I'm
there he
furious
is.
I don't have a cold Miller Lite in front of me.
You do have the Brewers hat on. We love that.
I'm having a hard time focusing on all my favorite things the last 24 hours. So Miller Lights are currently sitting ice cold in my garage fridge, waiting for the holiday weekend to celebrate this new linebacker core that we have up in Green Bay, which is sturdy, fast, efficient, proficient, and also my best team in baseball, Milwaukee Brewers.
So before we get to the Brewers here, Nate, let's talk about this trade.
Yeah.
Was this? I guess maybe I don't know if I didn't follow it close enough. Like, was this on the radar with Packers fans? Possibly.
It was all over. It was all over YouTube. Like, it was definitely, Pat McAfee was talking about the rumor mill, and there was rumor mill videos, which is exactly why I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't click on any single one of them. But turns out that Jerry Jones was actually looking to ship his best player. And, it's like, in what world do you have seasons to waste anymore? Like you got that guy in his prime. Like you're known for paying people, kind of overpaying people. Of all the people to overpay, it's like, you can hit on a couple nose tackles, you can hit on a couple like tackle machine linebackers, but you can't really hit on a guy that gets to the quarterback like in the NFL with people as good as they are at offensive line and as good at play calling as like, these quarterbacks get the ball out in 1.5 seconds now. It's like a guy that still gets to the quarterback consistently every year on Hall of Fame number pace. Like you got to pay him. So anyway, I think this might be the end of Jerry Jones. His press conferences have sounded uncomfortable. He's calling, the old calling somebody by their last name. Yeah. Only because you can't remember their first name.
Well, you know what? That's funny you bring that up. I'll play this.
And he kept calling him Michael.
Yeah, I got a quick 20 seconds of that of him doing it multiple times here, real quick.
Yeah. It's
firmly did made a commitment to Michael this spring, Micah, and paid him, and to pay him. At that time, I would like to try to figure this out. Did I talk to Michael?
Micah.
That's a bad one there, right?
Yeah.
his son who's old. I agree. Yeah, it's like
when your son's too old to be the GM.
Yeah.
And he's not the GM because you're the GM. Right. I mean, listen, it's Packers fans must love they got the Miller Lite in the background there, and they're just reminded we've got all. What's crazy about Jerry Jones is during this documentary, he's trying to take credit for the Herschel Walker trade. Good news, you'll be dead when they make a documentary about the Micah Parsons trade. Yeah. Bad news, you won't have Jimmy Johnson to blame for it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he built the '90s Cowboys. Is that I really just I don't. It's been a long time since I forgot who was responsible for those teams.
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah. Well, the document. Joe and I like. How far, are you watching it, Joe?
No, but I've seen it in 30-second bites on TikTok.
Yeah, I'm still in like a couple episodes, but yeah, Nate. Basically, from the documentary, Jerry's like trying to take credit, but it's like Jimmy Johnson was in that tracks, right? Was kind of the architect of that whole team, which then wins 3 out of 4, and he's a part of 2 before they have their falling out. And then Jimmy Johnson leaves, and then after that, they win nothing for 3rd. It's like I think we're kind of seeing it, but from your perspective, like you got to be thinking Super Bowl, right? For the Packers.
Well, I mean, look, I'm pretty scared of the Eagles. I think the Eagles are only getting better, barring injury. And they ended our season last year. We played our best game of the year that we played last year was week 1 against the Eagles, and we still lost. And so, yes, we need to be able to absolutely wreck shop. I'm glad that they lost, a lineman in free agency. I think that's huge.
And losing their offensive coordinator. Now, Jalen Hurts will have a 6th offensive coordinator in 6 years.
Yeah, which, obviously doesn't phase him, but hopefully it does this time. And hopefully, hopefully they're beatable. I'm also worried about the division's pretty tough. I think that's why Vegas is kind of, I don't know. I think people are fading Jordan Love's accuracy when it comes to the Packers, but I also think they know that the division is tough. I think the Lions can beat anybody still. And I think that the Vikings, for some reason, always love to prove you wrong when you write them off for a season. And I guess J.J. McCarthy can play football. And if he can, they'll be just fine because the coaching staff is good and their roster is full of talent. They were top 5 in the league in takeaways last year. They got all the same guys. They got, they got rookies that really haven't even who's the edge that they drafted 2 years ago? Turner from Alabama.
And also if JJ McCarthy, no one thought Sam Darnold could play football when he joined the team last year. So
you mean 14 wins, Sam Darnold? Yeah. So anyway, so the Vikings are going to be good, and I'm buying the Bears. Like I think the Bears could have 2,000-yard receivers. I think that Ben Johnson's going to be a good fit there, and I think that they got a franchise quarterback. I think that Caleb Williams is every bit as good as the hype. I think that he's got a top 5 arm in the NFL, and I think he's that dude. So I am scared of the division. I think everybody knows it's a pretty good division, pretty competitive division, and I don't know if we're going to be able to play a home game in the playoffs, and that's just going to be a problem again. We're going to have to go win at Philadelphia. So, yeah, do I think this team could win the Super Bowl? Sure. I think the odds dropped down to like 14-1, which is awesome.
Yeah, they went from 10th highest to win Super Bowl down to 6th already.
Yeah, so 20-1 to 14-1 is what I saw on, I think, just ESPN. So that's I going into an NFL season with a 14-1 chance to win the Super Bowl is very exciting to me.
Well, listen, I picked the Packers to go to the Super Bowl last year.
We both did.
I was going to get there. I was going to say I do have a tendency to be a little bit early on these things, so that's good. On the flip side, Ruther also picked them, so that's hopefully get to pick them this year, and he. The Ruther curse doesn't get you.
Can you guys back off my squad, please?
Yeah. Well, the thing is Jordan Love obviously has dealt with injuries, but you look at even the season you guys had last year, I believe, and I could be wrong, and Nate, you could probably correct me on this, but I believe you lost 5 of your 6 games in division. I think you went 1-5 in the division and lost one other football game.
Yeah.
Which is the Eagles game to start the year.
Yeah.
So you're right there already. And Jordan Love was essentially injured the whole year.
He was hurt. And he also, some of his really bad games were this, after the knee, he pulled his groin and he couldn't really he was all the way a mess from the waist down. And, that is going to affect your accuracy sometimes just as much as an upper body injury. So I'm hopeful, but part of me does worry that we've seen Jordan Love's best football. Now, that said, in that playoff run where we smoked the Cowboys and should have beat the Niners and all that nonsense. But, other players are coming to Green Bay because of Jordan Love. Xavier McKinney came to Green Bay because of Jordan Love. Jacobs, thank you. Michael signed with the Packers because of Jordan Love. They all believe in him as a player, and that I don't know anything about football, so that's awesome to me, and I'm excited about the team top to bottom. But now we got to win because we've got a bunch of the salary's lopsided, and when the salary gets lopsided, you got to start winning.
For sure. When it comes to here's my thing. Joe and I always say playoffs, coach, QB, defense, right? So those are the 3 things. My thing is, I think we all agree you got a good coach. Now your D, I just looked, they were 5th in giving up points per game. So it's top 5 defense last year. You add Micah Parsons. I think you're right. It just goes back to Jordan Love has kind of been the question mark. And by the way, I think he's got such an upside. It's just not turning the ball over. If he plays at a consistent level, they're a tough out.
Yeah. It's a fun team to watch because what I'm most excited about, and everybody's talking about, Micah Parsons on one side, Rashawn Gary on the other. The single Packer that I'm most excited about is Edgerrin Cooper playing one of the inside linebacker spots and running the defense. He was the rookie last year. I think he went to Texas A&M. And he maybe Texas Tech, one of those schools, one of those Big 12 schools, and he is just awesome. He just explodes off the screen. Watch him. I think he wears number 58. He's just a stud. He was hurt at the beginning of the year for a little bit, and then by the end of the season, he was just making every play he could. And I just think he's going to completely dominate in the middle of the field. He's the exact piece that you need in the middle of the defense. Kenny Clark was great at nose for so long for the Packers. He went to 3 Pro Bowls, I think, and he will be a Green Bay Packer Hall of Famer, that's for sure. Devontae Wyatt was he's the 4th-year player now, I think, 3rd year or 4th year player now. He's from Georgia, and he's the center on the line there, and he's the nose tackle, the center of the defensive line. And he's just, I think the defense is solid. Obviously nobody wants injuries. If they stay healthy, they're going to grind teams down and make possessions really important to good football teams. And that is how you beat good football teams. And I'm excited. Yeah.
What's going on in your head, Prano? You I know, again, you're big on the Packers, and then this where are we putting this trade? Obviously, this kind of is reminiscent of the Khalil Mack trade right before the season started a few years ago. But I don't. Here's the thing I want to say. I don't think people understand. We all know the quarterback's the most important position, but I think you said this, Nate. I don't think people understand when you have a guy who can get to the quarterback, which then creates turnovers as well. I just don't think people understand the value of a Micah Parsons type. And I'll just say it can be a straight up game changer.
Right. It's that, it's the JJ Watt, TJ Watt, Aaron Donald, the LT, like the guys who go, even if they're quiet for a game, it's because the other team has put so much attention on them that other people are fucking the game up for your offense. And that's what he's done. Listen, I'm a Giants fan. So Micah Parsons, it's like, you could do like a movie montage of Micah Parsons strip sacking Daniel Jones, and they crossed over for 3 years. It would be like a fucking girls trying on dresses in Clueless. There's so many of them. They played 6 games against each other. How does he have 11 strip sacks against one fucking quarterback? So yeah, he's a guy who's just going to. I also just think with a football team, like they all of a sudden have like a swagger of like, we have one of the elite guys. I think it totally changes exactly what Vegas thinks. It just jumps the Packers into a conversation. You can't now have the NFC contender conversation without the Packers. And the Cowboys, I wish I could give Jerry Jones the credit of being like, ooh, he knows they're not going to win the Super Bowl this year, so get value where you can for a guy that you don't want to pay. But if that was the case, he wouldn't be giving, Dak Prescott $500 million, and he wouldn't have got another wide receiver to go with CeeDee Lamb. Like, Jerry Jones is just a stubborn old shithead who was like, I'm not playing Michael is black. And you're like, all right, Jerry, just his name's Micah and your whole team's black. So why are you doing this?
To be fair, it just seems like he just knows that the rest of the defense is not as talented as it maybe could or should be. All I remember about that, all I think about on that Cowboy roster is just how we thrashed them for 55 points or whatever it was in a playoff game. And I remember Micah Parsons being running around in every direction in that game, the whole game. And, if you don't got a defense to let that guy kind of do his job and to hold up their end of the bargain while he does, then Jerry Jones probably doesn't want to throw $50 million, $40 million, $50 million at him a year, just to be a turnstile in a bad defense.
I do think this is the end, though. Hopefully,
yeah. Unfortunately, shout out Jerry Jones. Goddamn, how great has it been? We can all make fun of the Cowboys now. They were the best team that I ever saw in my life when I was growing up, and now they're a laughing stock of the league. Good run! What a run! What a run!
It is amazing. Again, if you watch that documentary, it is amazing that the team that was put together, just top to bottom, skill players to interior line. And it's just now he's just turned into everything I have said. Have I not said forever, Prano? I really don't think he cares about. I think he got his chips early. I just don't think he cares. It's all about the money, and he's always the guy involved in when this team relocates here, and his concession company, Legends, runs SoFi Stadium. No, I'm making money, even though it's not even my team. I'm making money off the Rams and the Chargers. I just think he's just a greedy old man.
I also think I think he does care, and I think he's an egomaniac, and
Okay.
that's why he can't. Like, if he didn't care, he would just be off doing all the shit while somebody competent runs the team. But he has to do the whole thing. He has to be the CEO, that guy that gets that leads. You know, he's the CEO of Legends, so that's his thing, and he's got his merch deal. But I'm also the GM because I also know football. And you're like, all right, well. Cool. I guess you guys haven't played in a Super Bowl since fucking, the 90s. You haven't been in an NFC Championship game since the 90s.
So I'm gonna ask you this, Nate, as you're wearing your Brewers hat, and I probably know your answer. Would you rather see a Brewers World Series title or another Packers Super Bowl?
I'm all Packers all day, but it's close because the Milwaukee hasn't won a World Series since they were the Braves. And I just love this team. I really, really love this Brewer team. If they can keep playing the way they're playing, I mean, it's, it was like, it's kind of how they win, like that Bucks championship was so fun. They were down 0-2 against the Suns, just a reprehensible fan base of shitheads and Michelob Ultras. And we were going to lose for sure after all that, after beating the Nets in 7, after James Harden banked a 3 in off the shot clock and all that bullshit. And everybody's like, well, Kevin Durant's foot was on the line. You guys got lucky to push that to overtime, and we still won and all that. I mean, it was just like, and everybody knew, Giannis was a freak, but like, could he be a part of like a winning style of basketball? And like, they were just so fun. And then trade for Drew, all the players were likable. And then the fucking alley-oop and the blocks. I mean, there was just a lot of fun plays that went on there. Like, it's all about the Brewers would have to win a World Series in dramatic fashion. This team seems to make over and over. They make, they got like the most comeback wins in the league. I think they're at like 20 comeback wins this year, like, late innings. And like, everybody says they're small ball. They knock the shit out of the ball. They score a ton of runs. Like, yeah, they manufacture runs when they need to, but they also hit the ball. They got 3 guys that could throw 102. They got, the catcher's great. Everybody's great. Everybody's
well, you said if you had to pick one that you're Packers all day, but how about who are you more confident in right now? Who you more confident comes away with a ring this year?
It's so hard to win the World Series, especially with no salary cap. I'm just a hurt dog when it comes to baseball. That's why I care more about the Packers. First of all, it's our league, and everybody else is an expansion team, except the Bears. So that right there makes it more important to me. And, the Brewers have what? It was only 2 years ago they finally broke the $20 million barrier on their salary, on their, annual salary. I'm kidding, but it's just.
Listen, your baseball team's success as a beaten Mets fan is what gives me so much long-term joy. I was like, the Brewers are still bringing up guys that David Stearns found and signed and drafted and whatever. Those guys, he's been gone and they're still coming up. And now I'm like, and now he's with us. And there's no salary cap. And I swear to God, I've been calling for a salary cap since I was 7 years old. Yeah. If they do it now, we riot. Like if finally my team gets the richest owner in baseball and now we decide to do it, I'll burn down the goddamn offices. Yeah. But I need my one World Series first. But I mean, us now having Stearns and an open checkbook, it just gives me like so much future is bright vibes. But you guys just do have baseball even more than football, even more than basketball, like the chemistry, because it's such a grind and the day in and day out. Your team likes playing together and likes playing baseball and likes winning games. I'm pretty confident in your Packers. having a good season, but I think I'm more confident in. I think the Brewers are going to be tough to beat.
I got to see how many games up we are on the Cubs. I just want to make sure that we play all our opening games in Milwaukee. I am confident in this team for sure, but it is baseball, and I am not holding my breath. You can get knocked out of the. I just don't want to get knocked out of the playoffs in a game and a half again.
Well, the good thing is right now, I think you guys would be skipping that round entirely.
Right.
And that's a whole other question mark.
That is a big deal for the Milwaukee Brewers. Okay.
Right.
I mean, we've had great baseball teams, go down in a pile of ashes in that opening 11 innings, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, not that you
lost the Mets last year. Pete Alonso ended our season. They can pitch, they can hit, they can field. I mean, what else do you need to know about the Milwaukee Brewers? I was worried that in their first 12-game winning streak that they had this year, I was like, I went and saw them beat the Dodgers, and I was like, it's too early to peak early. And I was talking to a couple Dodgers season ticket holders. We had really nice seats, and they were like, "Yep, this team's such a good team. They're just a good team." And then that streak ended, and then they went on another one, and I was like, oh, I got a little nervous because I was like, we're getting towards, it's not too early to peak too early. And now they've started, I was like, I just want them to go 500 for the rest of the year, and I'll take it. And if they can go ahead and lock in that, the home field, like, I stand by that. I stand by that. They just, I think, split with the Diamondbacks. I'm cool with that. And I will take this team just knowing what they can do and not doing it every fucking night between now and October.
I think you're right, though, Nate, when you say like the World Series is just so tough. It's like you can just get hot in football, man.
Right.
Like it's only a few games. If you get hot, obviously, depending on where the seeding would be, Packers in the playoffs, nobody wants to come to Lambeau in January.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, I don't know. It's just, I guess the same way, I guess you could counter that and say, well, you could just have a terrible game too. And it's just one game. It's not like you get a 7-game series. But dare we say, Brandon, we talk about overrated, underrated. Milwaukee, and I mean, obviously we'll throw the Packers with Green Bay in there. Very underrated as far as like good sports teams. I think everybody universally knows good fans, great fans, supportive. That's known.
Certainly good sports town.
That's what I'm saying. Great sports
Certainly
town.
Miller Lite drinkers.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. But like, I feel like the Milwaukee doesn't get enough love as far as just they've had good teams across the board for years now. Across sports is what I'm saying.
It's been a good run in Wisconsin, the last 20 and even 30 years. There was a good Bucks team in there before Giannis. Your Sam Cassell, Big Dog Robinson, and Ray Allen Bucks. That was a fun team. The Brewers have had some really good teams. Ever since the Christian Yelich trade, they've had a lot of good teams. They went to 7 games with the Dodgers in the NLCS. The Packers have had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks and won 2 with a Super Bowl each. That's called pacing yourself. Okay. And yeah, they are all pretty well run franchises, or at least have had windows of good executive decisions. It was fun I gotta be honest, it was fun when the Packers played a couple home games at County Stadium. Those were fun games. Those were really fun games. That was basically Favre's coming out party, was the win and you're in game against the Falcons when he took off running on 4th down with no timeouts and under 10 seconds left. And he dove into the end zone, and Chimera picked him up, and then he went and sexually assaulted a minor. But allegedly, he's
Favre or Chimera?
Chimera went on. There was a whole trial.
No, I know you want to. I've talked about this on the show. Small world. The guy's house he was at.
Oh God.
was when I went to St. Louis University, that was his parents' house. And I don't even know how there had been some exchange with him and his dad that the feds came in on campus in St. Louis to raid his computer because whatever his dad had talked about with whatever happened in that hot tub, I believe, right? And it was like, I remember people being like, dude, they raided his computer in his dorm. They're like, what was going on? Like, what was the email exchange he had with his dad?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yoshi's visiting the hot tub as we speak, just to.
Is Nate familiar with the Yoshi trips? Does he even know what we're talking?
Do you know Yoshi?
I don't think so.
Yoshi's a comedian. You would know him. But he visits all kinds of like crazy fucking crime scenes and porn stars' homes and places where people are murdered or assaulted or whatever. He's
a weird guy like that. Well, let's pivot to some comedy then, because you're talking about.
Well, I want to do a quick box question because I've heard a lot of this in the NBA circles. Us Knicks fans are feeling really good going into this season, not from anything that we've done, other than we made the Eastern Conference Finals and choked it away and fired the coach with no plan to hire someone else. And I guess almost hired Don Staley, but instead hired Mike Brown because we had heard of him and no one else wanted the job. That wasn't a woman. And but we feel good because Jason Tatum's out, Tyrese Halliburton's out, Dame's gone out of Milwaukee. But I've heard a lot of this rumbling in the NBA world. You can't just give it to the Knicks when the best player in the conference by a long shot, which I don't know if I would agree with by a long shot, but when the best player in the conference is Giannis in Milwaukee. How do you feel about next season's Bucks potential?
Well, I mean, I am kind of astounded that we wrestled Miles Turner away from the Pacers. I did not see that coming. The Pacers and the Bucks do not like each other. And for Miles Turner to turn ship on the Pacers, who look like they could, I mean, the Tyrese Halliburton injury is really, really rough. But, assuming he's able to get back from that, they look like they could compete in the next year or two. And, maybe not next year because he probably won't play that much, but who knows how many games they win and then he comes back. I don't know. I think that the Bucks have rebuilt their roster very nicely, considering where they were at and considering that they're going to pay Dame Lillard to go back to Portland. Still got Doc Rivers. I thought the Knicks were going to beat the Pacers last year, and who knows what would have happened if they wouldn't have, made a sequel to that awful Spike Lee movie in the first game. Like, that was wild. And who knows how that series goes if you just continue stepping on their dicks like that. Dude, that could not have been more dramatic. And but you shouldn't have to worry about the Pacers this year. Like, their two best players are, depending on if you think Miles Turner's, you don't just get centers like that. I understand people say he doesn't rebound enough or whatever. I don't know. He can bomb threes and he's 7 foot tall and he's athletic and started for the Pacers team that won the East. So I'm happy to have him.
Yeah.
And you don't.
Just kind of like running back the Brooke Lopez vibes. Like you just go back 5 years and you're like,
yeah. Brooke was a great Buck for a lot of years.
Fantastic.
Like, we were very lucky to have him, that he wanted to be there and that he was able to play that level of basketball for us for that many years. Awesome. But Miles Turner's in his prime. Miles Turner's that same type of athlete in his prime. He runs the floor and dunks, fast break dunks, and shoots threes just like Brooke does, and blocks and bodies and rebounds, all that shit. I'm very excited about the Bucks still. I just don't think Giannis. He's never going to be not a role player. He's never going to. He always wants to be the dude at the end of the game, and it's like, buddy, that's that's not exactly who you are, but it's who he wants to be badly, and he was able to attack that role and be that guy on bad Bucks teams for so long that then when it came time to hand over the reins to Holiday and to Dame, he just wouldn't do it. And it gets down to the end of the game, people build that wall, and he boots it into the fifth row. And now that we our best guard is Rollins is going to be our starting point guard, who I like, but you guys don't know who he is. But we did extend him, and he's our guy, and I like him. Last year he flashed. I was like, whoa, this dude. I see why this guy gets so many minutes, but like, that's not. We've got strengths, but we have weaknesses.
Yeah,
and I see us maybe winning a playoff series. It'd be awesome if we could win a couple. I'd love a crack at the Knicks.
I love this. You've talked me back into my excitement. I'm just like, we're going to the finals.
What you want is another MVP season from Giannis, because he's going to get to the playoffs and then be like, I'm what got us here. Give me the ball right now. I've always said in the half court, dude, don't even ask for the basketball.
Yeah.
Go be a freak athlete under the rim and around the rim. Rebound, get the ball.
We had a Julius Randle problem, and it wasn't that Julius Randle wasn't talented or a really good player or had the ability to score on just about anybody or couldn't bang threes or whatever. It was just he had that attitude, like, I need to be the guy who takes. And it's like everybody in the world agrees. And you look at Cat coming here, you look at whatever, is Jalen Brunson's that guy, and the idea that you don't know that. You have to leave.
It's craziness. It is madness. It's like the fact, and Giannis is a different dude than Julius Randle, but still, like Giannis, why wouldn't you just dominate defensively at the end of your career? Guys develop a little. He has developed a mid range that's very nice. And he's kind of stopped shooting threes, but not all the way. And next year, he's going to go right back to shooting threes.
Yeah.
He's going to do whatever he wants. And if I were a Knicks fan, I would want Giannis to put up MVP numbers. And I would want him just demanding the ball every time, inbounding under his own basket, walking the ball up, and then dribbling it out of bounds and missing, passing it twice and then missing a three badly. Like, that's the kind of shit he's going to pull in the playoffs, because he's going to demand the ball in the fast break. Obviously, who else are you going to with the basketball? Get it to him. But like in the half court, like he can't stop thinking that he's everything to everyone, and he's not John Stockton, and he's not Kobe, and LeBron. You can't, he's just like, dude. But it'll be fun to watch. It'll definitely be a fun team to watch.
Well, let's talk about your special, Nate. I was at your special release show at the Improv.
Crushed it. Absolutely crushed it.
Thank
you
for
night. Doing that.
It was great. It was a blast.
Yeah.
And I know you filmed it at Brad Garrett's at the MGM.
Yes.
An incredible room. So tell us.
Incredible room. Bit of a risk taping in Vegas. I think for people that maybe don't know, you want to tape in front of your crowd, but Vegas is such high energy, on a good night. On a bad night, there's a front row full of guys that just lost $250,000 on a back rack table, and fucking they have no interest in being there. But it was 1-1. It was Friday night was the ladder, and Saturday night was lightning in a bottle. But to be honest with you, it was so packed that we used a ton of Friday night anyway. And I was like, I went at it with a room full of boomers a couple times, and some of it's totally great for the special. So it's on Patreon right now. Link in bio, NateCraig.com, tour dates and ticket details, all that shit. Check it out. Thank you.
And where else are you going to be? You're going to be a couple places soon. Dirt balls are scattered across this great nation.
Yeah, next month I'll be in Winnipeg, Fort Collins, and Minneapolis. Fort Collins, September 12th and 13th. Minneapolis, September 24th through 27th. Winnipeg, September 3rd through the 6th. I'll be in Texas, in Houston and Austin, I think, November 20th and 21st. My show back in Madison at the Majestic Theater in between Christmas and New Year's is the 27th this year. I'll be in Bozeman and Janesville, Wisconsin before that. Friday, Saturday, bang, bang, on my way home for the holidays. Bozeman on I believe the December 19th. It's the Friday.
Love that Bozeman club.
Yeah. Last Best in Bozeman, Montana. Such a party. And I'll be doing 2 shows there. And then Janesville, Wisconsin, getting ready for my show in Madison the following week. And then I'm in Grand Rapids for New Year's and the weekend after that. And then I'm at the Lincoln Lodge in Chicago, January 9th and 10th. And I'll be adding shows the whole time.
This man's coming to your town, Dirtballs. Go see him. Nate, I love your stand-up. I hope everybody comes and sees it. I have not watched Married to It yet, but I'm going to watch it today.
Nice. Check it out.
I'm going to buy it on Patreon.
Crack some lights. Hey, we didn't even talk about the fact that the AFC and NFC North play each other this year. So Bengals at Lambeau. Ruth, are you going?
I'll be rooting for the Packers. I hate the Bengals.
Do you really? Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
It's Joe would argue that it's complicated. It's funny you ask if I'm going because I got a buddy who is from Milwaukee.
You've been talking about going to Lambeau.
Well, that's fun. That's funny you bring that up, Nate, because I said this on our show. I said bucket list for sure is Lambeau.
Well, that'll be an awesome game.
Yeah, I've always wanted to see a game there, and my buddy lives there. And he's like, keep me in the loop, but I don't know. We'll see. I got two little girls right now, and
yeah,
it's I don't know.
It's a lot. It's how you can't just buy a quick round trip to Green Bay.
Yeah, you gotta check things at home, and then who's watching. It's just
yeah.
I can see Joe rolling his eyes. I already know.
Well,
Nate's got a kid now, and he just listed 40 cities he's going to in the next 3 weeks. So,
Well, I think it's a little different. I'm not doing comedy now, so it's like it's a little different.
What a prick!
He's such a prick. He's such a. Don't even get me started. Prano is such a prick. He's like, I don't get these guys who have 2 kids and suddenly can't do anything.
Oh man. Well, I'm going to go to that Packer game in Phoenix, and that is a much easier city to fly to. Is there an easier city to fly to? For some reason, Southwest Airlines uses Phoenix, Arizona, like it's its garage. So that one's easy to get to, and I might actually just drive to that. But I get it.
Those will be good matchups, though. Those are the 2 best divisions in football.
Yeah, it's really fun. We also this is why I say the Packers win the division this year. So
AFC West is pretty good too.
I like AFC West is very good. Yeah, with Harbaugh and Bo Nix and that's a terrifying division. And Kansas City, that is the best division in football. The East is top heavy. It's the North is I don't know.
Here's the thing. Raiders should be obviously improved with Carroll and Geno, but I don't know. I just think
the Raiders are a well-known and repeated dumpster fire, but they're not the Browns.
No, they're not the Browns. They are they
Browns have one of more recent. By the way, that's a whole discussion. I would argue the last 20 years. Are they any better?
Oof. Those are 2 tough hauls.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the Browns kind of would take that.
They would. They won a recent playoff game.
At least the Raiders moved and made a stadium, and now now you get to see Too Short. It's the Browns. Shit, dude. I love Cleveland.
I'll take Raiders minus 1.5 wins over the Browns right now. If we're
yeah. By the way, I'm not betting this year. No, I mean.
Okay.
No. Well,
I don't know what happens with those Browns, but I know that we get the Bengals and the Ravens in Lambeau, and I don't know where anybody else is playing the top of that division, but I know that that's an advantage for us. We get the Ravens. I think the Ravens play end of December in Lambeau, like literally week 16, 17, and then We also get the Lions week 1 at home, and then we get the Lions at Detroit on Thanksgiving, which they will love ruining their fan base's Thanksgivings.
Yeah.
And that means we sweep the Lions this year. Next week is everything. For week 1 is everything for the Packers. Everything. Because we need to sweep the Lions to win the division, and I think that goes down week 1. And then it's up. It is a lock. Lock it in. It is a lock to beat the Lions on Thanksgiving in Detroit. That's my lock.
Tough. It's just tough to get your grit up on a short week. Grit's something that takes 6 or 7. It's like a Thanksgiving turkey. You want to leave it in there for 14, 15 hours on low. You don't want to try to rush, fast, flash fry your grit. It's never happening on a Thursday.
Is that Campbell?
Yeah.
Is that a Campbell quote?
Yeah.
Well,
you
Nate,
can deep fry a turkey, but you can't deep fry grit.
Thanks for giving us the time. So Nate Craig, is your website natecraig.com?
NateCraig.com, at Nate Craig Live on Instagram and TikTok. Follow me on YouTube, also Nate Craig Live. Nate Craig at Reddit. Nate Craig on Venmo. And then Nate Craig on, most importantly, Patreon, where you can watch Married to It whenever you need to.
New special.
For
Check it
your
out.
holiday weekend.
Well, thanks, Nate. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you, boys. Thank you,
See you,
boys.
buddy.
Enjoy your fantasy drafts. Enjoy your week 1. And always fun to do the show. Can't wait for the next time.
Thanks, Nate. Take
All
care, man.
Later, boys.
Nate Craig, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to second it, third it. Check out Married to It. I've seen it. I haven't seen the special yet. I'm going to watch it this weekend, but I've seen a lot of the things that Nate, I'm assuming, has in the special. Great comic.
You talking about marriage in it?
Great guy.
Or is that just playing?
He talks about marriage in it. I don't know. I haven't seen the special, but I've
Okay.
seen him talk. I've seen him talk about a lot of married kid stuff, and he's a funny comic. He's a great comic.
Do you have married bits now?
I'm just starting to talk about it. I've just kind of shoehorned in some of the other stuff I talk about with her, with married stuff. I always, in the last couple of weeks, I'll be like, recently got married, and then I'll be like, got married 2 weeks ago, and people applaud and be like, feels like a month with this ball and chain, and then that's always a good one. I had a bit that I was working for a while. She didn't love that I was doing it for a bit about how her dad hates me, but now I've brought it back because her dad didn't come to the wedding. So now I talk about that. That bit is basically that, like, it's so not normal for me, because usually I crush it with dads. And my joke is that I've had breakups where it was harder to say goodbye to dad than it was to their daughter. And it's like, is it another dad? It's like, it's not another dad, Bob. It's your daughter. She tried to run me over in her car. But can I still text you? I'm like, you can still text me. And you know what? Go ahead and keep Will and Irvine's password for the baseball so you can watch your Phillies.
No, I know.
Think of me when you do.
I know exactly where you're going with that one. Do you want to get to a couple calls before we wrap this bad boy up?
Let's do it.
All right. Dirtballs, give a shout. We do have a hotline, 859-832-0478. And let's get to a few calls.
Boys, John in Deerwood, Minnesota. It is Ryder Cup selection Wednesday day thing, which had me thinking. I know we're not much of a golf show here, but Ryder Cup, phenomenal competition. Definitely looking forward to it. What would you say is the best international sporting event? I'm throwing out the Olympics because that's kind of like a bunch of events in one. It might be the Ryder Cup for me, other than the World Cup, which one's that's a month long, whereas the Ryder Cup is 3 days or whatever. What do you guys think? Best international sporting event? Stay dirty.
Best international sporting event. Well, first of all, you can't just say Olympics doesn't count.
Right.
Like,
besides the best one.
That's what I'm saying. Like what? Just because the Olympics goes on for 2 weeks, you can't just say it doesn't count.
Right.
What kind of rationale is that?
Let me say this, and I as much as I've gotten into golf in the last few years, I still haven't really gotten into watching golf on TV. It's not my thing. I wish I could. Puts me to sleep. Yeah, most of the guys are fucking boring douches. Although I do like Scotty Scheffler. But I like the Ryder Cup. I've always liked the Ryder Cup. Here's one thing I like about the Ryder Cup. I like that it's teams. I like team golf is fun.
Yeah.
So I really like the Ryder Cup, and it's at Bethpage this year, which is out on Long Island. So that's nice. That's nice for a New York boy like me to see. I'm probably tuned into a little bit of Ryder Cup. World Cup, as a guy who hates soccer, still pretty hard to beat. World Baseball Classic, I enjoy it. I don't think a lot of other people do, but I enjoy it. What are we missing?
That's a good question. I mean, I've never
Paralympics. Does that count?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never, golf the same way. Like Ryder Cup, no. I mean, dude, it's the Olympics. Like, well, I just don't know why he's doing this.
And then also, like, just like, isn't every golf event or I guess he's talking about a competition between nations as opposed to, because like every golf event and every
About this one in the YouTube comments, World Cup of Hockey.
You just made that up, right? That's not a thing. World Cup of Hockey? What's the World Cup of Hockey?
I don't know, but whatever the thing they did recently.
I thought that was like a Four Nations thing.
Well, I think this is something different. Yeah, the thing they just did was fun as hell.
And do I watch the World Cup of Hockey on HGTV? Is that where I find it? In between episodes of House Hunters? World Cup of Hockey.
World Cup of Hockey started in 1996.
Wow. It's the World Cup of Hockey.
But wait a second. Did they stop doing it? Like, what are we talking about here, bro? Yeah, they moved it to Four Nations.
See? Okay, so maybe he's saying that's what that is. Using it as a placeholder name.
I don't know.
I think Olympic hockey is more exciting than the fucking.
Yeah, they're bringing it back 2028.
Okay.
The World Cup of Hockey. Ryan, did you really retire, Ryan Klatt? Chime in on this.
I don't think I was on the episode where he retired, right?
But he said bye forever, and you weren't even there.
He hit us with the bye forever.
He just dropped it on the episode. He's like, I'm retiring, like on the spot.
New hockey correspondent. Not Regan Anweiler, or whoever the fuck just chimed in. He's listing international hockey events that are defunct.
No, they're bringing it back 2028.
He's like, the Pan American Hockey Games. What the fuck?
He's like, the MySpace games. Those were great. I mean, yeah, I think the bigger question is like what international or what Olympic sports are the best, which we've kind of already discussed, but I don't know, getting into
listen, the World Cup is tough to beat when you consider I watch it and I hate soccer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. All right, let's pull up another call here.
Hey, what's going on, Andy and Joe? This is Hunter from Michigan. Just with the news of Joe Flacco starting in Cleveland to let the young guys develop, I was hoping to get you guys' take on your personal feelings towards quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks, who are playing for bad teams, starting their first year and kind of getting their lumps in, getting some experience being on a really bad team, or being able to develop behind quarterbacks. We've kind of seen success stories in both regards, right? You have Aaron Rodgers being under Brett Favre in Green Bay for all those years. You could say Jordan Love, kind of same thing with Aaron Rodgers. But then, of course, we also have, people like Peyton Manning, who led the league in interceptions his first year and then went on to be one of the best quarterbacks of all time. So there's kind of arguments for both, I feel like. What are your guys' personal sentiments on that? Obviously, probably has a lot to do with situation, but I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Thanks. Stay dirty. Peace.
I think it depends on the team and the QB situation as far as like the room.
Agreed. I think you're better off if your team is really bad or even kind of bad, letting a guy sit and develop, because I don't think that you can say what would have happened to the Sam Darnolds of the world or the Zach Wilsons of the world or the Geno Smiths of the world or anybody else who has ever played for the Jets of the world if they, weren't suddenly, quote, seeing ghosts and gun shy and scared and fucking whatever. I think there's also a huge difference between, Peyton Manning and Joe Burrow and these guys who are like, they're the first overall pick. They're the savior of the team. We think they're whatever. And we don't have a guy for them to back up. So like, for example, again, kind of crazy that the Giants signed 2 quarterbacks this year. But Jackson Dart coming in, it's a no-brainer for him to sit behind Russ for 5 games or 6 games or whatever, however long it may take, and just learn the system and get some snaps in here and there and whatever. I mean, Patrick Mahomes sitting behind Alex Smith, I guess you could argue, oh, maybe they'd have been to 8 straight AFC Championship games. I don't think, and this is just my opinion, but I don't think Patrick Mahomes wins the MVP in his first year as a starter if that's week 1, year 1. So to me, I think you sit a guy, especially if you know you're not going to be good and you don't want him to get fucking rattled. And if you have a competent vet, you also don't want to fuck a guy's ego up by sitting him behind some trash bag. But if you have a guy who has reps, just a guy who has years under him, vet, sit a young quarterback behind him on a bad team.
Yeah, I mean, look, I agree. And again, context is key. It's like, what's your team? Like, what are they projected to do?
Really, what's your offensive line like?
Yeah, you don't want to. I mean, look what happened to Andrew Luck. They didn't build a line around him. And he was like all these other guys, you knew the sure thing. And then his career ended early. I mean, you have teams like, which is ironic that I'm bringing up Luck, because I mean, look at the Colts right now. The Colts right now, like they basically already have given up on Richardson. They basically have given up. Which, by the way, did you see the latest Jim Irsay stuff that came out?
No.
So basically they had been lying the whole time. He had multiple relapses. It's all shady shit, dude. He had multiple relapses, according to an investigation in the Washington Post, which was published yesterday. Irsay overdosed 3 times in the last 5 years of his life.
Wow.
On top of that was being, by the way, I'm not knocking somebody for having like a drug problem. I'm just saying like they had lied, and I'll get to that. He was prescribed large amounts of opioids and ketamine by his recovery doctor, which were kept hidden from the public by Colts executives. The Post reported that Irsay suffered an overdose in Turks and Caicos in February of 2020, which required hospitalization before returning to the Colts later that month. In December of 2023, Irsay overdosed at his home in Indianapolis, and then again 12 days later at a beach resort in Miami.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Irsay spent nearly 4 months in recovery with the team, saying at the time that he had severe respiratory illness.
Imagine being the Colts team doctor and having to deal with this. He's like, this is the worst thing I've seen since Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck's like, shots fired. Leave me out of this. I mean, every time Jim Irsay was near death, he just saw Andrew Luck begging him to go toward the light. Follow the light, Jim. Jim, follow the light.
And apparently they kept lying. The last time he had an overdose, they said he was recovering from back surgery.
Yeah, backiotomy.
I mean, this guy sounds sketchy. This guy is, it's always a sketchy doctor. It's like the Michael Jackson situation.
Yeah.
The Post interviewed 5 people with direct knowledge of Irsay's relapse in the investigation, all of whom were concerned about the treatment Irsay received from Ratatouille. I don't know, Ratatouille, whatever. By the way, you gotta love the irony here. An addiction specialist, but he's giving him pills. That's totally counterintuitive. The Post investigation found that this doctor supplied Irsay with opioids.
Why does Harry Haratuni sound like a guy who like wears like a fake mustache and glasses?
100%.
Like, has like a fake cigar. It's like, yeah, it's ketamine. That's what you need. See. And to be fair to not to the crazy addiction specialist, but like the billionaire owner, he's just going to keep firing doctors until the doctor is the guy who's prescribing him ketamine. So
that's true. That's
you find like basically he was just like, I fired 400 doctors, and then John Prano decided to like pretend he was a doctor, and he's like, yeah, if you give me $200,000, I'll go get you ketamine.
The investigation found that he had supplied Irsay with opioids, including more than 200 pills in the days before his December 2023 overdose. He had been prescribed ketamine in the final months of his life. When Irsay died back in May, this same doctor, homeboy, Ratatouille, signed the death certificate, which listed the cause of death as cardiac arrest caused by acute pneumonia with 2 heart conditions. No autopsy or toxicology report was done. Shocker.
And, I started questioning this guy's credentials when he spelled pneumonia without a P.
Look, I mean, obviously he just had a drug problem, an addiction problem, and he couldn't give it up. And the family, of course, they didn't run an autopsy. They didn't want to know it was in the system. I wonder what happened to the underground tunnels.
I was about to say, I'm glad he didn't overdose in one of the tunnels. He never would have been found. He would just end up spending his existence like a dead pope under the Vatican.
Like
catacombs.
Yeah. What's the Edgar Allan Poe story?
The Raven? No, I know what you're talking about. The
Count
one. With the knocking.
They get the guy,
yeah.
They get the guy drunk and he builds the wall around him.
Yeah.
That's some savage shit.
Yeah. It'd been weird. Somebody in the neighborhood, they sell out the neighborhood to other people. Bunch of swingers walking through there with their Crocs with upside down pineapples on it. They're like, there's a dead guy in here. And you're like, there's my old boss. What you doing here?
I need more Andrew Luck in my life. I also love that there's a good like tinge of Bill Walton in Andrew Luck.
It's Bill Walton, but with a little bit more gravel, a little bit more. Well, he always sounds like he's got a monster voice.
What a mess, though. Seriously, the Colts QB situation.
Yeah,
like you went from
vindication for Daniel Jones, a starter once again in the NFL.
I am again as your number 1 ranked Bengals hater. I am tracking. They had the Bengals old DC. I now my betting is up to like I'm like, who wants to place bets? Who's got a higher ranked defense? The guy they fired, who I said no, he just had shitty players, or the Bengals this year? Who's gonna have a worse D?
You're not feeling the Notre Dame defensive coordinator or whatever it is?
I don't know if I'm feeling or not feeling. I just not feeling the players that homeboy's been given. It's like there's only so much you can do, with that. I got to keep track of my bets are getting out of control with the Bengals this year, and they're going to win 13 games. I'm going to be in the hole. Sorry, kids, you can't go to daycare anymore. The Bengals had a good year. Sorry, you're not eating. Sorry, Isla. The pizza Fridays that Daddy always does, they're done.
It's now Tostino's pizza rolls in the air fryer Fridays.
I got a new one, so she'd love that. I upgraded my air fryer game.
Mikey sent me, you'll love this. Mikey sent me a recipe. Mikey has never sent me a recipe ever. And it was a 4-ingredient recipe. It was get a bunch of chicken, boneless, skinless chicken fillets, throw them in your slow cooker, throw in 2 cups of chicken broth, throw in a whole bottle of B-Dubs garlic Parmesan sauce, let it simmer for 4 to 6 hours, and then throw pasta in. And I got to say, it was pretty fucking good.
Really?
It's pretty fucking good.
Interesting.
My one adjustment it came out a little bit salty, which I'm assuming is the entire bottle of garlic Parmesan sauce from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
But I think if you're going to go with that method, maybe you just go low sodium broth, because there's obviously chicken broth can also be kind of salty. I would maybe adjust and go low sodium broth, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good, not gonna lie. And easy as fuck.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, guys, hotline 859-832-0478. Give us a shout.
Guys, you can follow me at Joe Prano on all social media, at joeprano.com for shows. Got a bunch of shows coming up tonight. If you're in the Santa Barbara area, I'm doing a Don't Tell Comedy Santa Barbara. Fun fact, bookending the show, Andy. I found out yesterday when you've been doing comedy long enough where you've been a part of like we'll send you the lineup on Instagram. Everybody's on an Instagram message together. The famous Swiftie who flipped out on me at West Side Comedy Club will be on the show with me tonight. So this is the perfect week for that. I will rant on Taylor Swift's engagement, and she will hopefully lose her fucking mind again. And I'm excited for it. So tonight, Don't Tell Comedy Santa Barbara. Sunday, West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica. September 10th, back at Airliner Bar. I'm opening for Jay Moore down in at Grand Comedy Club in Escondido. That is, I believe, the 13th of September, and the 11th of September, doing a show at Grand Comedy Club in Escondido. That's like football. It's gonna be like a fantasy football, roasty kind of. I don't know the things yet, but it's gonna be football based. So those shows and more. Thanksgiving week, I'll be in Vegas at Brad Garrett's Comedy Club, where our boy Nate Craig filmed his special. So go to joeprano.com for shows, or go to natecraig.com and buy his special.
All right. That's the show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Have a great holiday weekend. I'll talk to Joe. We'll see what we're doing the next show. But you guys enjoy. Spend the time with the fam. Drink some Miller Lite. All right, guys. And as always, stay dirty.